welcome back to the channel. So today is our first look at the brand new M235. I keep wanting to say I after that, but it's not anymore. Gran Coupe, or GC. It's the 2 Series Gran Coupe, new generation, the F74 chassis. And this is our HEA, or I believe the translation is roughly dealer first equipment. But we begin up front. Obviously, everything's brand new on this car. So our headlights, so it's a, basically looks like a dual headlight design. We have, I don't know if they're really quotation marks for daytime running lights. We also have, looks like shadow line lights there. Looks like there's a corner right there in the corner. And then your M Performance grille. So all the 2 Series Gran Coupes are M Sport by default. And of course the M235 is the M Performance version. So you have an M badge there in the grille, so horizontal kidney slats, reminiscent of what's on the new G65 series. You can see the parking assistance camera there in the middle, and then sensors there for their driving assistance plus, which this car does have, so ACC stop and go, or driving assistance pro. Pretty open front end there as well. Not as aggressive as, say, like the 2 Series Coupe, or I should say the M2. There's that front 3/4 view. It is vastly different than the 2024 2 Series Gran Coupe. And the hood seems kind of short, with a very large overhang here. Unusual shaping, really. I think, at least that's my opinion on it. Over on the side, we got the style 977M wheels. They are 19-inch wheels. The car does come standard with 18-inch wheels and optional 19-inch wheels. We have the red M Sport calipers. You can see gigantic front calipers there. You can step back, so you take in Brooklyn Gray, which either, depending on your viewpoint of Brooklyn Gray, either fortunate or unfortunate, both of our 2 Series sort of demo models are in the same rough spec. So Brooklyn Gray and red black interior. And you know, on the M235, there's a black roof that is standard. It's not a slick top, so there's a moonroof built in there. So maybe trying to mimic what the carbon fiber roof would look like. It's definitely a look. And then out back, we got the basically gurney flap here is what BD calls it, in high gloss black. We've got M235 badging in silver or chrome, and you notice very large font size for the M and the 2 in there. And tail lights reminiscent of what's on the X2. And then, of course, standard now, at least going forward for the M Performance or M Light vehicles, you have a quad exhaust on these things here. And this is the only 2 Series Gran Coupe that will have protruding exhaust tips. So if you want to get these protruding exhaust tips, you're going to have to step up to the M Performance version of the 2 Gran Coupe. There's that rear 3/4 view, which I think doesn't look too bad. And I think better integration of the sloping roofline. That said, the car does, at least in my opinion, ride a little bit high. It sits high. And of course, you also now have a 2 in the Hofmeister kink area. So similar to what's on the 5 Series now. There's that side profile. Of course, it does share lots of bits from the X1 and X2. It's a mini platform. It's a front-wheel drive platform, but still an F chassis rather than a U chassis, which is what the X1 and X2 are. All right, we're gonna make our way inside, go over pricing and options on this, I think, pretty well-equipped M235. All right, so opening up, we have the red and black Vaganza. So faux leather, upper portion door card, sort of like softish rubberized plastic here, not extremely hard or scratchy. Then red Vaganza here, basically probably like magma red maybe. Harman Kardon sound system, more black Vaganza here with contrasting stitching. Lower portion of the door card, hard, scratchy plastic. And here's what's different with the M235. You have these basically like bucket seats that you can get also on the X1 and X2, so it's a difference between this and the base model 228, but still, I think, really well bolstered seats. And you have some details there with the M stripes, contrasting stitching, really well bolstered. and I think pretty comfortable. Adjustments down here for lumbar support and a powered crumb catcher. We should probably test this out, but I think this is probably going to be lumbar and then side bolster adjustment. Then M badging here on the door sill. All right, so curiously in front of me is the M Sport steering wheel, not a flat bottom steering wheel. So we do have M badging. We've got M stitching over here. We got your cruise control buttons over here and shift paddles. So it appears like maybe it's only the M235 that gets the shift paddles on the 2 Gran Coupe. Then we got the stripe at the 12 o'clock in red. In front of me, iDrive 9 live cockpit. Then a head-up display, which I think, at least on the M235, requires the premium package. Otherwise, on the 228, I believe it's the tech package that gets you that. And then some nice details, M stitching on the dashboard and kind of like a weird placement of it. But otherwise, dashboard plastic. You got some ambient lighting here. So the vent controls are new, obviously, but not what's on like the 3 Series. All right, so the trim here, it's hard to see, is the aluminum hexacube trim. See a little bit more up here. And this portion up here is ambient lighting as well. And then center console area, you have a wireless charging pad here, cup holders, and USB-C charging ports. So drive selector nub and wheel for the volume. You notice that there's no iDrive controllers. That is gone from at least the front wheel drive based iDrive 9 vehicles, which of course this one is. All right, starting price, the 2025 M235 xDrive Gran Coupe is $49,500, Brooklyn Gray. Metallic adds another $650. All of the interiors are included in the price of the vehicle. Driving Assistance Plus for $500, $1,400 for the M Sport Pro, then Premium Package for another $1,600. The Tech Package is another $1,500, which, at least according to this description in front of me, includes the 360 cameras. Then we got the 19-inch wheels, add another $600. Everything else you see is included. All told, MSRP, this particular example, just a little bit under $57,000. All right, that said, $57,000 does sound like a lot of money. But if you think to Dr. Evil, $57,000 isn't exactly a lot of money these days. All right, so moving to the back, note there's no comfort access to the rear doors. It does have ultra wideband technology, which means you don't get that anymore. So here's the rest of the Vaganza interior in red and black. Door opening, I think what you'd expect on the 2 Series Gran Coupe, pretty small in terms of narrowness. Now that said, the wheelbase of this car is the same as the outgoing, is it the F44, a previous generation 2 Series Gran Coupe. The car is about, I think, 7/10 of an inch longer, and about an inch higher than the previous gen. All right, here's a view of the cockpit in the backseat. Now I will note, at least in my experience, this driving position here, it seems like it's a little high, at least to my liking. Of course, your opinion may vary on that. Then out back, you just have vent controls and USB-C charging ports. Here's the back. You have an M badge here. You can see through and poke the driver or passenger. Knee room, leg room, I'd say pretty good. But headroom can be an issue in the back of the 2 Series Gran Coupe. And I'm about 5'11", and my head is hitting that headliner. All right, so moving to the back, there is kick to open on this vehicle, surprisingly. Something you cannot get on the 2 Series Coupe. But here's the cargo area. I think surprisingly large cargo area for a relatively small vehicle. You can also fold down those rear seats for even more room. And there's a surprise extra storage space down below. No kick to close though, because it's not powered. All right, so we'll make our way to the front and pop the hood of this brand new M235 Gran Coupe, or Gran Coupe. I think that 3/4 view doesn't look too bad. It's just, at least in my opinion, that front overhang, it's a little bit large. Or long, probably is the better word. All right, so underneath the hood here is the V48 inline 4 2-liter turbo engine, 312 horsepower, and 295 torque. So a little bit down in terms of torque from the previous generation M235i. We'll pause here with that front 3/4 view. But that's it for our first look at a brand new generation of the 2 Series Gran Coupe. See you at the next video.